एक बार बोल श्री भगवती देवी माता की जय। एक दंताय विद्महे वक्रतुंडाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वती नमः। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वती नमः। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वती नमः। नमश्चंद्रिकाय। एक बार बोलो श्री भगवती देवी माता की जय। सच now हम लोग को आरती करेंगे। Let us all stand as we glorify the divine goddess. ओम सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्र मूर्ति सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी बोलो जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय मैया दीपो मृग मत को उज्ज्वल से दो नैना उज्ज्वल से दो नैना चंद्र बदनी को। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी कपरधारी मैया गंग कपरधारी सुर नर मुनि जन सेवक सुर नर मुनि जन सेवक इनके दुख हारी ओम जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जोतावाली माँ सच्चे वाली माँ बोलो श्री भगवती देवी माता की जय। सबका सब पर बैठे में और टेक योर सीट्स माय डियर फ्रेंड्स। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। सबको Sitaram everyone. Jai Sitaram, and a warm welcome, of course, to each and every one of you on this, I don't know what to call it, rainy, overcast. You also got taking pictures when you were coming? The lightning. Yes, when I was coming up Munroe, I see a whole thing run across. Say, lad, TNT up there too. Let me say nothing about TNT and light. Yes. On behalf, of course, of the president of our Mandir, Pandit Krishna Rambali, and members of the Mandir, it's indeed our pleasure to have you here in the first of 3 evenings of worship dedicated to the glorious form of Mother Goddess, feminine aspect of God that is referred to as Devi. Indeed, it's our pleasure to have you to young Pandit Ishwar this evening for performing Puja. Somehow this Naratam we are all split in many different ways. Pandit Rohit is down south. He is officiating on, well, I take 2 bookings one time and I can't be 2 places one time. So poor fella had to go and fulfill a commitment that I made. So he is finishing a yajna, a Devi Bhagwat in Princess Town in St. Croix. The last 3 days he's going to be there, so he's not going to be with us this evening. Pandit Vishnu, who is here. Some of musicians are also split all over the place. So you get some here, some there, some have emergencies, some unable to be here because of family commitment and so forth. This time to Pandit Ramlakhan, the president of our Mandir, of course, Pandit Krishna, Sri Asha, Shakti, my good friend Pablo, and Chandra, of course, who are here, the Ruprang family, the ANS family, ANS Food Stores. He's the proprietor and one who does a lot in the field of charity. He gives tremendously to temples and to, of course, social occasions like Ram Leela and so forth. Once those things come around and you ask him, no, don't go beg him, right? Because if you beg him, I go get less, right? But nonetheless, one who is there always to give support. Amar Samarji, executive member, Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha. This evening, the Adali family, Daniela and her sister Emily. Daniela celebrates her birthday today. So Dan, we want to say, of course, many, many happy blessings. These are 2 young, wonderful souls that I met because of, where's Van Devi? Van Devi and Michelle, they all went UTT together, correct? Yes. They're all young teachers, budding teachers, and they all went UTT doing their B.Ed together. And through Van Devi and through Van Devi and Michelle, who are here with them sitting as well, I met Daniela and, of course, her sister Emily, 2 wonderful souls, and their family, Nivesh, Devina, and Nelini, who sit together with them as well. And 2 birthdays we are celebrating today. Daniela and Mrs. Rambali. Mrs. Rambali said, yes, she's always asking you. Today's her day to give you. So Mrs. Rambali celebrates. No, the only reason you want me to say nothing is because you know you have to give. Right. So Mrs. Rambali celebrates her birthday today. Mrs. Dean Mati Rambali, most of you know her as Kaki. Everybody calls her Kaki. There are 2 Kakis in the temple. One frequents us because, of course, of the loss of her husband, Pandit Ram Pratap. She's here off and on. And then this is the other Kaki that we know. We grew up calling her Krishna Kaki. And you know her as Mrs. Rambali, Dean Mati Rambali. So today Mrs. Rambali celebrates. How much years, Mrs. Rambali? More than a half century, close to 3/4 century. 3/4, close by? More than half of a century. So that means when she said that, it's somewhere just above 50. We all know better. So we want to extend our best wishes to both of them. To Daniela, of course. You know, Daniela wanted to sit for puja during the Ganesh Utsav, and when she asked me and we went to Mrs. Rambali, you know, all the nights were booked, and she didn't hesitate when it came to the Navratri, her family. So I want to say many, many blessings to them, and yeah, I don't think you could have found a better way to celebrate. To Omadath, who sits with them. Am I missing any there? Michelle's and Van Devi, mom, is also here with us. So this is the hosting family for this evening. You, my dear friends, each and every one of you that come time and time again to join with us. Many, many devotees from near and far. And to brace this weather, you all see what is going on in Florida? Yes, indeed, my heart goes out to them. That's terrible, Sandra. Lanu home? Yes, it's really, really, you know, pressing. It's terrible. So our prayers, of course, are with them. And especially during these trying times, I think we're probably getting a little bit of the tail end of it, because the wind was not kind coming up the road. Nor was the taking of pictures and the sound of the Damaru, the thunder that is rolling. So indeed, we're blessed and fortunate to be there. And our prayers, of course, are with all of those wonderful souls. So lots of Trinidadians and lots of our Hindu brothers and sisters. They live in Florida, and they also follow us. They're there. They're also observing. In these conditions, it's difficult, you know, to observe fast. But perhaps this is one of the reasons that faith has to be very, very strong. So to all of those families, Shivana, who is here, former principal of ours, and a good friend of mine, a former educator, her grandfather, what of her Aja, Nana, yes, her Nana was the late Pandit Satnarayan Pandey, who was instrumental in having this mandir built, and of course brought it to its stages of where it is. So indeed, it's our pleasure to have you here, members of groups on stage. Basdev Dada, one of our seniors, who are here this evening. A little bit combined of worship and participative worship. We want you to also do something. The Navratri is very great for Divine Goddess, and any type of worship, dedication that is done to her, especially during this time. The Devi is very, very powerful. Those who take the time to worship and to honor her, very, very wonderful form of God that we worship in the form of Mother. So this evening, before we begin, let's all sit upright as we adopt contemplative state. We surrender for a few moments onto the feet of the Divine Goddess. We seek her blessings and we ask humbly of her that, O Ma, tu balak ko god mein lekar jeevan geet sunate hain. When moments become difficult for us, it is our Mother who provides the warmth and the comfort and embrace of reassurance. That, O Ma, today as we sit verily in the bosom of your lap, whatever troubles, difficulties we have, Mother, we surrender those. We remember you, may you shower your grace and your blessings upon us. Help our home, our families, our loved ones. Most importantly, Ma, sit within my heart, become the guiding light and the inspiration, become my friend in moments of despair, and of course may you always be there in my times of happiness. Hey Parameshwari, Parishani, Param Shakti Sheravali, Hamara Pratnya Suni, that accept this humble offering from the soul of this devotee, O Ma, as we surrender again and again. Sri Ganesha Namah, Shri Saraswati, Sri Guru Charana Kamale Myo Om Namaschandika Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapali Durga Shama Shiva Patri Swaha Swata Namostute Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarva Sadhike Sharanye Trambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Karpuragadam Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavam Sahitam Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamanam Darunam Navakanjalochana Kanjamukha Kanjanam Sri Ram Sri Sri Ram Sri Ram Begi Hara Hanumana Mahaprabhu Joga Koi Amaro Sankata Mor Garib Ko Jo Tumse Yahi Chata Taro Jai 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 Hanuman Kripa Karo Maharaj Jai 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 Hanuman Shri Bhagavati Mata Ki Those of course who chant the beautiful mantra of the goddess Aim or A-E-I-M or Aing, sometimes you see in English E-I-N-G. Aim is the beach mantra. Beach means a seed. For those of us who study a little bit of English, all verbs have a root, and from that root, for example, the verb to be You get I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, they are. As a teacher in me, I can't help that. So from the verb to be, you get all of these that sprout. They sprout and they give. Well, if you do a little bit of Spanish or French, it's the same. It's called conjugation. When you match up the singular aspect of the verb with the pronoun that goes with it. So seed, this is what is called seed. From two words, to be, you get is, are. Similarly, from the beach or the seed of the mantra, you get everything else. It grows like a flower. So Goddess is supreme, without form, first and foremost, just like in all religions. God is without form. When God wants us, or wants to begin creation, or wants to bring forth the world, that unseen form manifests in two principles. One is called Prakriti and one is called Purus or Purush. Basically, it gives rise now to gender. So masculine Purush, God comes in the form of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Ganesh, Krishna, Ram, Kalki, countless forms, whatever male aspect of Bhagwan that exists. And Prakriti, that gives rise to the form of the divine or the feminine aspect of God. We are said to be likened in every form and fashion to the mirror image of the Supreme and the universe. So just like us, you have men and women, or masculine and feminine. When we come together, we give rise to life as we know it. So birth is given, your children are born from basically you and husband and wife coming together, male aspect and female aspect coming together. The universe is also born like this. So whatever happens in the universe also takes place in us. The feminine aspect of us is also present in each and every one of us. So you have what is called Shakti, or energy that drives us. So when God manifests, it is broken down into those two principles, Prakriti and Purush, masculine and feminine. The feminine aspect takes on all of the forms of the Devis that you see, starting from Mahadurga, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Kali Mata, Ganga Mata. Doesn't matter whichever form, Lakshmi Mata, you know it best. Dash Mahavidyas, the 10 forms of the Mahavidyas, Tara, Chamunde, all of these, Bagalamukhi. Once it is an aspect of feminine, a feminine aspect of divinity, this is derived from the divine Devi, but it is none other than God. Parent refers to two. So whether I say my mother or my father, they are both parents, aren't they? So if I write dear parent, I am referring to either my mother, either the mother of the child or the father of the child. Similarly, God is the same. When we say God without gender, as well as can mean either Bhagwan Vishnu or Mata Lakshmi, Bhagwan Shivji or Mata Parvati, Bhagwan Sri Ram or Sita Mata. Same, no difference. So the Navaratri is dedicated to the feminine aspect of the divinity. By no means less, or both are equal. There is no comparison in terms of this one being higher, that one being lower. No, they're the same. They are the same level. Mother and father comes together to give child. 50-50. Half from father, half from mother. That is what gives rise to birth. God is the same. There is no difference. So these 9 days are dedicated to such. So Aim is one aspect of the divine goddess. That goddess, when she first came, invisible, formless. And from her 3 major manifestations came what is called Maha Saraswati, Supreme Goddess Maha Saraswati. That is the root syllable that gave rise. So sound is what gave rise to everything in the universe. And from Maha Saraswati, Aim. So when we say Om, Aim, Saraswatyai Namaha, you hear that term sometimes. Then the term Hrim, H-R-I-M, or sometimes you hear the word H, you see the word H-R-E-E-M, Hrim. This is aspect of goddess that is known as Maha Lakshmi. So this is the seed syllable of Maha Lakshmi. Om, Aim, Hrim. And the third aspect of the divinity is Mahakali. They are all manifestations of the same Durga Mata. So Mahakali, you would hear the term Klim, K-L-I-M, with a hyphenated over the I, or you see the word K-L-E-E-M, Klim. That's why the mantra Om, Aim, Hrim, Klim, Chamundaya, Viche is so powerful. There are many mantras to the goddess. Om Mahalakshmi Namaha, Om Maha Saraswati, many mantras. Dum Durgaya Namaha. But this particular mantra is said to be very, very powerful. Anytime it is chanted during this time. So these are called Bij mantras or seed mantras. Most mantras, when you recite them, you must have a little bit of vernacular tacit. So what that means is you must be able to pronounce it a little bit correct. So if I'm saying Om Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namastute. So most mantras you must have an idea of the pronunciation, or to be able to come as close as possible to perfecting the pronunciation. But with Bij mantras, they are a little bit different. With seed mantras, the sound is what gives. Sometimes one may not perfect the pronunciation, but the sound that comes from it gives the same blessing, and even a greater blessing. So it is the easier of the mantras to recite. So that's what we recite in the Devi Bhagavat. Of course, it is said that if one was to recite this particular one, it's called Navakshar, 9-syllable mantra, preceded by Om. All mantras are preceded by Om. If Om is not used, the mantra doesn't have any fruit. So this is, mantra comes from the term mantrayate. Man means the mind, and trayate means to free. That's why if you notice, if you're stressed out or you have lots of mental anxiety and you do japa, you take your time and rhythmically you do pronunciation of mantras, you would notice that eventually the weight that is there on you, the burden that is there, it feels like you feel lighter, if I may use that term. You feel like there's a, well, for a little bit, after that when the stress comes back, well. But during the time that you're doing it, you feel light. That's because mantras have the power to free the clinging. What happens? The mind clings to things. It has the ability to attach itself to things and to objects and to scenarios. And with the chanting of mantras, it helps to release that. The little bit of worry that we have, the little bit of anxiety that we have that is caused, because all of those emanate from the mind. And trayate means to free, or trayate means to raise, to rescue. So mantra, hence the word mantra. And when you chant it, that is what happens. That's why when you sing or when you clap, it really is. That is a big stress reliever. Here, praise is a real good thing, you know. Robin and Vijay sitting at the back, you know. Praise is a good thing, you know. You could call me to hold a seminar for you, you know. And just make people clap and sing, and when they're done, they're happy, and I will collect something, and you know. So this is the power. This is the power of mantra. So before we begin this evening, we all want you to join in. So Daniela and her family will go before the Murti, and all of us will sit upright, and 21 times that beautiful mantra. Om, Aim, Hreem, Kleem. Next word is Chamundayai. Chamundayai. And the last word is Viche. Viche means to conquer. Vicche, but it's pronounced Viche. 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 So all of us together. All set, Mandirji? Yes. Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundayai Viche. 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 Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shivadatri Swaha Swata Namostute. Bhagavati Devi Mata Ki Jai. Sharanam. So chanting of this, of course. Sometimes your breath gets caught up, so you breathe at Om for tomorrow evening when you're doing it. Sometimes your breath runs out, so you breathe at Om when you say Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundayai Viche. When the Viche is complete, then you breathe in again. Om, all mantras, when you breathe in, the breath that goes in must accompany the Om sound. Om, so that breath is taken there and then you recite the entire mantra. Especially if it's longer mantras, you have to find places to breathe. Like when we sing, sometimes we sing, you realize I'll be breathing while I'm singing too. Or any singer, yeah, we have to, if we don't breathe, we like fish, momo momo. So we have to breathe, of course, when we sing as well. So this is how you do mantra. So beautiful mantra that is done, and that can be recited every single day. The Navaratri is considered to be very, very sacred, and as such, of course, anyone who observes these 9 nights of devotion, 9 lunar nights it is, and anybody who observes these 9 nights of devotion, any aspect of it, for the Divine Goddess, then blessed becomes such great souls. So before we begin this evening, and just a little bit, because at the end I want you to all come up and do some offerings individually at the feet of the Divine Goddess. Let's all blend our voices together. Om Namaschandikaye Namo Namaha. माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जताती है माँ, कितना प्यार जताती। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी। Everyone. श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करती, श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करती, पग पग प्राण बचाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जताती। बोलो माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जताती है माँ, कितना प्यार जताती। सबको बोले everyone। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जताती है माँ, कितना प्यार जताती। तू ऋषियों की रेत से, तो ब्रह्मा की भक्तिमान, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्तिमान, तू ऋषियों की रेत से, तू ब्रह्मा तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्तिमान, तू हाथों से भाग्य जगाती, भागी भागी आती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती। Everyone. माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जताती है, कितना प्यार जताती है। भवानी तू पुराण का तारशार का, तू वेदों की वाणी, तू काली महाकाल दुर्गा, तू नेपाल भवानी माँ, तू पुराण का तारशार, गोद मिलेकर जीवन की सुनाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जताती। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, ओ कितना प्यार जताती। इतना हे माँ ओ माँ दुर्गा माँ ओ माँ हे माँ माँ दुर्गा माँ लक्ष्मी एक बार बोले श्री भगवती देवी माता की जय. God is found inside each and every one of us. It is our identification or our attempt to identify with the God in us that determines our closeness to him or her, in this case the divine goddess. I don't think I have to share with you, I always draw this reference to you, I don't think I have to share with you what's happening in our society these days. Well, apart from the lights gone off and TK are lost. If we look at news and what is taking place, lives are being lost. Mother and 16-month-old baby lost their life 2 days ago or day before. Young man took his own life in the budding stages of his life. Not even budding stages, that's very young. Took his own life. When you look around, you see what is taking place, and that in itself is a worrying thing. So how do we find some peace of mind? And because eventually what we begin to think is that if it happens out there, it is going to come home to us. And that in itself is a worrying, very, very worrying thing. That can take a mental toll upon us and cause us to alter our lives and to alter the way that we do things in so much that it brings additional pressure upon us and our homes and families. So how do we manage in all of this? That's why God is important. That's why periods like this and whenever it's allotted in the calendars that it's important. It doesn't matter what religion you are. But some time and identification with God is important. And with the divine aspect of our side. So within each and every one of us is that divinity, it exists. Even in the criminal that comes to cause harm to you, there is God there. Believe it or not. But what differs? What causes one human being to sink to the abyss of, cruelty, and yet another one to be so exalted in divinity? What's the difference between the beggar who walks on the side of the road and the king who sits on a throne? Because there's a soul located inside the beggar and the king. In the perpetrator of a crime and in the victim of the crime. Both have God in them. But what determines how one turns out to be the perpetrator and one is the victim? And it's our connection to God, and that's why it starts in our home and our families. It starts with children. That's the role that we play, and this is what God is to us as well, a parent. So in his or her wisdom as a parent, they have outlined through the scriptures the pathway that is ordained for us and what we should follow. A couple days ago, somebody messaged me to ask me my thoughts on something. I wanted to get actually an opinion. When I shared what is the citation from the scriptures, person remarked to me, well, it doesn't matter what you tell me, and I was going to do what I want in any case. So I said, why ask me then? It don't make no sense. If you're going to do what you want, why bother to ask? So this is, and I was sharing with someone that what causes that type of thinking, or what causes the general thoughts that go through our mind. And it's our lack of connection to that divinity. Because you see, my dear friends, in connection with divinity, there arises within us the need, if need is the correct word, but there arises within us a level of consciousness to always do what is right and to have what is, or develop what is called morals or morality. But that starts, that contact for those attributes or characteristics to take birth and sprout in our minds and in our lives. It has to start with contact with God. And that is what Navratri is. This is what divinity and coming to Mandir and being in this is important. It's important. You can listen to all that I say, but if you don't practice it, then it becomes nishpal, it becomes fruitless. So this is what the Navratri affords us. That's why you fast. Because it's yes, we say fast and all of these things, but why do we do it? What is the purpose of doing that? It develops a sense of control. You know, sometimes you're in an incident, or you're in a job, or you're in something, and because you are so confined to the situation, you can't see outside. Sometimes you ask the opinion of somebody who stands outside and they look in. And when they look in, they are able to tell you, well, you should do it, so this is what you did wrong. But you for yourself, in the situation, you could not respond or act in that way. That's what this allows us to do. Pull ourselves away from the hustle and bustle of life and take a look inside. It helps us to reassess. Pablo and I talk every day, almost every day, sometimes more than once a day. And 90% of the time is about these things, about God and prayers, and how prayer helps to guide you and give you the intuition. And that's what you do. During these periods, you strengthen the connection between you and divinity. And with that strengthened connection, that is what helps to give you guidance in your life. Because there's only so much trust you can put in people unless you really, really know the person good. There is only so much trust that you can put or lay in someone's hands. Unless you're life partners, you've spent the majority of your life together. But there's only so much trust that you can put, and especially these days, people these days are not what they used to be long time. Long time you had dependable, very, very dependable souls in abundance. Now you have them, you still have them. But it's constricting because the world has changed. People have changed. And because of the world, the change that is going through the world, and it's even going through more change. Because long time, we used to ride bicycle when we were growing up, not so? Yeah? You ask a young person if they can ride a bike. Chances are they can't. Especially a two-wheel one. You know when I'm learning to ride two-wheel bicycle? All you know is a chopper. Daniel, you know is a chopper? No? Van Devi, you know is a chopper? Look, see? You know is a chopper? Who knows a chopper? A chopper, yes, look around my age, Robin. They were even a little, they have ahead of the race in me, but it's a two-wheel bicycle that used to have a strange shape on, and used to ride that all over the place. It had gears too in it in the middle to change, to go high speed and low speed. You all know it's a 10-speed bicycle? Oh my God. See why I say times change? And just how they don't know what that is. Our contact with AI technologies, they know what AI is. And they can use AI to do, artificial intelligence to do, that is what is going to, when they get to our age, that is what is going to be, what is featuring most. That's why when I see old people using Facebook and things, I just be glad. Don't mind they just click up the wrong button and thing and share the wrong thing and like the wrong thing. That is alright. But at least they're trying to adapt. Because it's difficult. You ever stop to think that? You know, we don't stop to think that. You ever stop to think how difficult. Look, Bauji sitting there. Bauji is 80. And Bauji just send me a message nearly every day. She shares something with me. But do you stop to think how difficult it is for they? They actually have to retool and relearn to adjust to the society that they are living in. Because they grew up in a society, we grew up riding bicycle. They grew up even before us. And the change that they would have seen from their time to now, and they actually are able to adjust. That's why I laugh. Sometimes I have to call my mom. I say, Ma, where is Sherry? You know where you do they? She said, no, I just ting and I ting. Because your finger just moving and you know. Sometimes you click on the wrong thing and you like the wrong thing. Oh gosh, and it has something these days you really can't like it. So you know, this is change. But at the same time, there must be some things don't change. There's an old song that we sing sometimes. देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या होगा भगवान कितना बदल गया इंसान कितना बदल गया इंसान सूरज ना बदला है आसमान कितना बदल It says देख तेरे संसार की हालत है दादा हालत means condition. So dekh tere sansar. Dekh means to look and sansar means this world. Dekh tere sansar ki halat. Look at the condition of this world. Suraj na badala. Badala means to change. Suraj na badala. Chand na badala. Moon didn't change. Na badala hai Asman. Sky didn't change. So from the time of when the light bulb was invented, the sun was still shining. When the first set of our forefathers landed upon this land, this place that we call home, our land, sun was still there, moon was still there, sky was still there. Kitna badal gaya insan. But look at how much badal gaya insan. Insan means human. Look at how much human has changed. So the poet uses two comparisons. He shows how the external environment in which we live, the luminaries, the sun and the moon we consider God, the eyes of God, they have remained the same. Although they witness the change. Because the sun will be here until the end of the universe. They witness the change. But they do not become affected by it. They retain their identities. Suraj na badala, kitna badal gaya insan. Change is inevitable. It's the only constant they say. But God must remain the constant. So this is what Bhagwan describes. So that's why it's important, especially during Navratri. And these moments that fast, do a little bit of devotion to the gods. It doesn't have to be much. If you can't fast for the 9 nights, they tell you these 3 nights. Today, tomorrow, and the Friday. 7th day, 7th night, 7th lunar day, or 7th night, 8th day, 8th lunar day, 9th lunar day. Fast as you can and worship the goddess. Because these things, my dear friends, help us. They help to forge our connection to God. We're human. We're going to get frustrated. You think I do get tired? Think I do get tired? If not from Linsalong, if not from Idocan and Panadol, you know what's going on with me these days? You know, yeah. From base of spine to the top of neck. If you could put a sound machine there, you hear crick, crick, crack, crack. So it happens. It happens to all of us. So this is why God is important. So Bhagwan says very beautifully, just for a few moments, that Sri Ram performed the worship of this divine God. Mahapatak Purush bhi jo Navratri Vrat ko sab paapon ko jut jate hain. नहीं है। पहले कभी कोई निर्धन वर्णिक धन को होने दुख को कुटुंब का कौशल देश में निवास करते हैं. Listen to a little bit of someone. The Navaratri is capable of burning away any type of sins that we have, any type of little wrongdoings that occur in our lives. Apityani bahupashyana bhavanakshupitani cha bhaksham kinchit bhayanvam prabhustam palaka. Who is a perfect being? Anybody here is perfect? All English verb tells you to err is human. If you don't make mistake, you will never learn. You must make mistakes. So we all have moments of little wrongdoing that we commit, either consciously, subconsciously, knowingly, unknowingly, mistakenly, deliberately. We all have some wrongdoing. We all have a conscience, and somewhere in our conscience, although at the time we would have acted sporadically or we would have acted in the heat of the moment, but at some point in time we do reflect, we do stop, we do think. Even the person who does, like I mentioned to you, even the person who causes harm to you, in time to come, there is going to be a moment that there will be remorse and repentance. That happens with all of us. We look back and we see, well, maybe I could have done it this way, I make a mistake, I should not have done it that way. Some of us are mature enough to say, well, I should not have. Some of us again. So this depends on the grace of God. So this is what Bhagwan tells us, that during this time, sins, they are quickly annihilated. And listen to what took place in the home of one who observed this brother. Mera jeevan teri sharan hai, mera jeevan, mera jeevan teri sharan, mera jeevan teri sharan. Sare raat birag hue sare my life, Teri Sharan. The life that I have, or what I get, is because of your grace. Sharan means grace. So because of your grace, Mother, I have life. Sade rag birag hoya. In all of this that takes place, what is called rag with attachment and birag without attachment. Sade rag birag hoya. You are in all of the attachment, all of the paraphernalia of this world. You are the one that helps me to control. You are the one that pulls me away from it. So in all of the confusion and what goes on in our lives, when we fast for Noratam, that is Bida. Moho Sare, next word with Raman.
Moho Sare Tyaga Hoya.
Moho Sare Tyaga Hoya. Tyag means to renounce. Tyag means to detach. Moha Sare. This world is an illusion. Our lives is like a film that plays. We're here for 2 days, and whatever we do and whatever transpires in our lives, it's like an illusion. It's like something that we look at. Like how we look at someone else's life, so our life is. And to pull ourselves away from getting lost in that. Moho Sare, Tyaga Hoya, Eka Yahi, Mera Bandhan. The only help that I have there is when I bandhan, when I form a bond with you, when I hold on to you. That is what saves me. It's like a river that has a strong current, and the person gets caught in the middle, and they look for a branch or something. They say a drowning man should grasp onto straws. You look for something to hold on, some glimmer of hope. That's the goddess. Moho Sare Tyag Hoya. Eka Yahi. There's only one thing. Mera Bandhan. My bond with you. That is all that saves me. Sare Ra विराट हुए अब सारे राग, एक यही मेरा बंधन, मेरा जीवन तेरी शरण है, मेरा जीवन तेरी शरण। So similarly, of course, पापों को छूते संदेह है. Make no mistake about this. Goddess is very kind to those. There was once Manik, a great merchant. धन होने से दुखी हुआ, कुटुंब कोमल के देश में निवास करते हैं. To take care of his family, he will go from place to place to ply his trade. Dukhi hua. Most times he was overtaken by how much he will be able to earn, because sometimes what he earned wasn't sufficient enough to take care of his family. So he'd be worried about that every single day. इसके भूख प्यास को ब्याकल पालन करता हूँ. Foremost thought in his mind was to ensure that his family always had food. बहुत संतान के सायंकाल उसके बालक को अन्न मिला है. या children, his family, well, संतान, many children. और यहाँ कार्य करें या पढ़ंत संध्या के भोजन करते, धैर्य को कुटुंब पालन करते हैं. And every single day he would do a little bit of worship for the God, and then he would leave for Bhagwan, and then he would leave. सदा धर्म को रत शांति सदाचार सहायता को धैर्यवान क्रोध रहित मद रहित आसूया रहित था. He was very noble person. Sadachar means good conduct. So he was very controlled and satyavak. Always tried to do what is right. He always tried to live by truth. And these are the values. This order the scripture is written thousands of years ago. It still outlines the values via which mankind live. Or Vahadhairevan, he was filled of patience. In the scriptures there's a term that is used, is called titiksh. Titiksh means that in spite of what weathering and what beating comes, that sometimes life sends to you, you remain always standing. You bear it, and you see some people like that, right? They get trouble after trouble, and they bear that trouble, and they go through life. We respond to situations and things in our lives in different ways. Some of us are very calm, some of us stay and we keep it within and we consume that within ourselves. Some of us verbally expressive, we look for somebody to talk to, whatever the case is. Dhairyavan, he kept it to himself, but he bore courage in every situation that he was in. Krodhrahit, he tried to maintain, of course, and not get angry. Or Madrahit, Ayusa Rahite. Madrahit means others' possessions did not bother him. Whatever someone else had, he was happy for that person. If he didn't have it, it did not cause any distraction to his mind or in any way bothered him, it caused no bother to him. And Rahit ho. देवता तिथि पितरों को नित्य पूजन करते, कुटुंब भोजन के चुकाने बच्चे आप भोजन करता है. He would look after his family, of course, every single day. सुशील कहा, मध्युज को बीबीट ने अपने गुणों को सुशील कहा. एक समय दरिद्र को व्याकुल हो शांत ब्राह्मण पूछने लगे. But in spite of all of that, although you do sometimes the correct thing, you try to do your best. Life sometimes gives you some cards that it's difficult. So one day, a holy man came to him, a poor man. सुशील कहा, हे महापति, कृपा करे, आप कहिए निश्चय करके मेरे दरिद्र के प्रसाद को नाश हो गए. He says, "O Holy One, in spite of how hard I work and in spite of how much of a good life I try to live, and to live a good life is hard. To do the right thing all the time is difficult and sometimes a lonely path." And he says, in spite of how hard I work, in spite of how good I live, and I try to be the best person that I can, Daridraka ko kisi prakar, I still am always struggling to make ends meet. Always it's a task for me to take care of my family. Hey Maharajh, मुझे ऐसे के धन इच्छा नहीं होते हैं कि है धन की जाऊं को केवल कुटुंब पालन इच्छा से. He says, I'm not cravenous. I don't want wealth, to be in abundance. I just want enough to take care of my family. यहाँ मेरी पुत्री और बालक भूख को डोते हैं, इतने अन्न को नहीं कि मुष्टिमान को अन्न प्रदान को करते हैं. When I see my family, especially my children, when I can't provide for them, it pains my heart. And right now I am in such a state. देखो मैंने बालक को घर से पृथक किया है. रीता को अभी कारण की चित्त अत्यंत व्याकुल होता है. Although I leave home and they are not in front of me crying, but the images register in my mind. I remember them. मुष्टि मात्र के उन प्रदान कर that please help me do something that will give me some advice. देखो मन को बालक को धड़ से and like this. मेरे कन्या को व्याधन की नहीं है करूँगा. Pashumali describes, he says, you know, my daughter is not yet married and all of these things. हे विप्र, इस प्रकार को सोच करते आप सर्व दया सागर तप ब्रह्म गॉड मंत्र जाप करिए. Tell me, give me something. Tap, show me how to do some penance, dan. Tell me what to give. Buy something and give. Do some charity. Help someone. What do you recommend? और मंत्र जाप करिए. Should I do some mantra jap to a particular deity? Tell me. हे द्विज, जिसमें अपने कुटुंब वर्ग के पोषण करूँगा इतना को चाहता अधिकार मुझे नहीं है. I've tried everything and in spite of my better efforts, nothing works. आपकी कृपा मेरे कुटुंब, please for the sake of my family, help me. व्यासी बोले, हे राजन, इस प्रकार के पूछे कि श्रेष्ठ ब्राह्मण परम प्रीति से वैश्य कहने लगे. He says when the holy man heard this, he began to share with him very beautifully. सारे राग विराग अब मोह सारे प्यास एक यही मेरा बंधन, मेरा जीवन तेरी शरण, मेरा जीवन तेरी. जय जय माँ, जय माँ, जय 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 माँ, जय जय माँ, जय जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ, जय जय माँ, जय जय माँ, जय माँ. वैश्य पुरुषा नवरात व्रतम शुभम. Holy man tells him, if you perform the vrat of the Navratri, Pujanam Bhagavatyasya Havanam Bhojanam Tatha, worship the divine goddess Bhagavatyasya. She is Veda Parayan Shakti Japa Homadikam Tatha. When you worship her, perform her puja. And that's what we do every day. When you get up in the morning and you offer your dhar, Durga dhar, you put your neem leaf, you put your flowers, you light your diya, and then you will sit and you will probably say a little prayer, Jayanti Mangala Kali Vadya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu. Then you will do a little bit of jap. And this is the same thing that he's being told. Navratri ki pavitra aur sukhdayak hai. Anybody who observes this Navratri, it is purifying and it gives happiness. Yaha Gyan Mokh Sukh Santan badhne wale hain. It gives even oneness with the divine goddess. Nashak Navratri Vrat hai. There's no complication, no difficulty that cannot be destroyed by the observance of the Navratri Vrat in its. सीता वियुक्त होकर राज्य के अच्युत महाराज रामचंद्र इसके व्रत को किया था. Then he tells him, he says, when Sita was taken from Sri Ram, Bhagwan Sri Ram, he performed this vrat of the divine goddess. Pratam और सीता बिहार तकनी को व्याकुल. This is the greatness of this vrat. Anybody who performs it, तब मेघनाद को विभीषण राज्य के पीछे अयोध्या में आया निष्कंठ राज्य किया है. Even मेघनाद, विभीषण, they all perform this great vrat of the divine Devi. Anybody who worships her, remembers her. पीछे अयोध्या के निष्कंठ राज्य है. Even the great kings of Ayodhya. व्यासी बोले यह वचन सुनकर वैश्य उसको ब्राह्मण गुरु के माया बीज में ग्रहण हो रहा. When he heard this, of course, he resolved in his own way. And that's how knowledge is shared. How do we know things? We come into contact with people who are knowledgeable of it. Someone says something, we hear it, we like it. maybe one thing, and that's what, you can't remember everything that I share with you or anyone shares with you, but if you remember one little excerpt, any little thought that is there, something that is said that connects, that you connect with, because different persons, if you and I read a paragraph, and if 10 of us read a paragraph, the 10 of us will connect with something different in that paragraph. And if we are asked, we will give a different interpretation. That interpretation is dependent upon our experiences in life. According to the life experiences that we have, which forms a bank of memory for us, that's how we connect to things. So some things I will say, some people connect to that, some people, that's why sometimes you go me, you say, remember what he says? You say, no, I remember this, and this one goes, I remember that. And some other will say, well, I remember nothing he says. But this is how we connect. Our mind is built like this. So he adopted that, and of course he started. He asked the sage that how should I do it, and the sage told him, do the puja, perform the jap. Havan especially, if you do Havan during this time, with that same mantra, and you say Swaha and you pour ghee into the fire, it's considered to be very, very great for the Devi as well, more powerful. परम भक्ति नवरात्रि जप करते हो अनेक प्रकार को उपहार आदर से पूजा हुआ है। इस प्रकार 9 वर्ष माया के बीच परायण हुए, 9 वर्ष के अंत में महा अष्टमी भगवती अधिकार प्रत्यक्ष दर्शन किया है, अनेकों वरदान से कृतकृत्य किया है। If you did for 9 years straight, you do the Navratri for 9 years straight, the Shivratri for 14 years. But in Navratri, if you keep up the Navratri for 9 years, Navavarsh means for 9 years consecutively, you do the Navratri. Some of us have been doing it longer than that. But if you do it for 9 years consecutively, the Navratri, and with the greatest effort that you can, with the strictest way that you can observe, then this Adhida, it gives great blessings. And on the midnight of the Ashtami, when the Devi appears, she grants any type of blessing that you want. And so said, of course, he performed this brat for 9 years consecutively, and at the end of the 9th year when he performed it, the divine goddess herself manifested in his home. This is the greatness, Pratyaksh Darshan. Pratyaksh Darshan means difficult to obtain. That was obtained by him because of his dedication to it. And this is what Bhagwan explained. Varadan ko uska kritya. Anything that you want and you pray and you seek and you sought her blessings during this time, she grants. This is the blessings of the divine goddess. Iti Shri Devi Bhagavad Mahapurantre Skandava Shakrita Dhyani. Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. Jai Jai Ma, या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै Namastasya Namo Namah. Together, all of us. Jayante Mangalakal Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swata Namostute Om Jayante Mangalakal Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Tatra Swaha Swata Namostute Bhagavati Devi Mata Ki Jai. This brings us, of course, to the end this evening. I'm not going to keep you very long. I want you to, each of us, come to the altar, of course, and to make an offering for the Divine Goddess. I think all of us can remember that mantra. Om, Aim, Hrim, Klim, Chamundaya, Viche. So when you come, what you have, Rup? Bay leaves or neem leaves? Both things, right? So Rup has both for you, bay leaves and neem leaves that you also have sindoor that they will dip it in, and of course you offer it at the feet of the Devi and you say that mantra in your mind. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaya Viche. Tomorrow evening we have the Kanya Puja that will take place. Those of you who want to participate, you're welcome. It's 9 girls and 1, of course, boy that will be here. Not much, we don't do much reading, it's just the puja. Allow you to offer, of course, to make your offerings to them. The Kumari Puja, those of you who observe the Navratri, tomorrow is the Ashmi, and of course, it's very, 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 very auspicious to have the Kumari Puja done during this time. So those of you who are coming to join with us, we want to say, of course, God's blessings, and thank you very much for being here this evening, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and then on Friday evening for our final evening, of course, of worship to the Divine Goddess. With these few words, let me say God's blessings. My friend Amara is here. You know, I take Amara for granted too, and I'm sure some of you do, but he is the acting principal at the Pinal Rock Hindu School. This year we were very fortunate. Maybe I should allow PG to tell you that. PG, you want to share that news, or do I have permission? So this year, the Ministry of Education usually does not announce or do any type of merit list again. In the past, they used to announce the first place for the SEA students, the students that top the country. We have about 20,000 kids that write, about 20,000 kids that write the SEA exam. And out of that, there's usually one student. There's a top boy and a top girl, and then you have the top student. You have the top student, person who scored the highest in all of those 20,000 kids. One of the kids so this year 2 kids scored the highest. They tied for first place. What was the score, Amar? What was the score? You remember the composite score? 259? 258.9. PG brain good. 258.9. And this year, 2 students tied for first place. One is from his school. One of those students, what's the name of the child? Surya Munesa, yes. One is from his school, Surya Munesa, and the other is Rajbali, Aryan Rajbali from Felicity Hindu School. That's, I think, the first time that our Hindu school have produced a tie top student in SEA. 2 students coming from a Hindu school. Mahasabha, SDMS Hindu School. So that tells you the dedication and the commitment of our teachers and our principals. So I want to say congratulations to Amar on the tremendous. He's flying on cloud 9, More we pass cloud 9, probably gone to cloud 11. Can you imagine the line outside the school to get in? Yes, those things enhance the prestige of your school and your institutions. So I want to say, of course, congratulations to these 2 young men, and also Amar, because Amar is one of our own. From the time he got the result, he told me, he said, more than likely, I'm not sure, but more than likely, we have the top student in the SEA. So these are truly blessings. These are the blessings that we get from the Divine Goddess. So many, many blessings to you, and to our children especially, and to our loved ones and family. With these few words, let me invite you to stand. I want you to come, and I want you to make offerings, of course, at the altar. So you'll do probably 1 or 2 lines of Mahishasu Mardini and then Arti. Om Yani Kani Shapapani Janmantara Kritani Cha तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा प्रदे आई गिरि नंदिनी नंदित मेरिणि विश्व विनोदि कृष्णनुते गिरिवरदि शिरोदि निवासिनि विष्णु विलासिनि चेतनुते भगवती वेशिति कुंजि कुंजि घोर कुटुंबिनि घोरते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया ओ बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न सुपारी गजाना पान सुपारी गजाना पान सुपारी गजाना पान सुपारी गजाना ले तेरे भेंट चढ़ाया ले तेरे भेंट चढ़ाया बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया बोलो सुआ चोल तेरे अंग सुआ चोल सुआ चोल तेरे अंग विराज केशर तिलक लगाया केशर तिलक लगाया बोलो बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया वो बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया बोलो नंगे पग तेरे आगे आए 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 अरे सोने का छत्र चढ़ाया सोने का छत्र चढ़ाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया ओ बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न ऊंचे पर्वत
ऊंचे पर्वत भरा निहारे
नीचे शहर
बसाया नीचे शहर बसाया
सबको बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न
सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर मध्य सतयुग त्रेता द्वापर मध्य कलयुग राज सवाया कलयुग राज सवाया
बोलो ब्रह्मा वेद पढ़े तेरे द्वारे ब्रह्मा वेद पढ़े तेरे द्वारे हरि शंकर ध्यान लगाया
शंकर ध्यान लगाया
ओ बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया
तेरा पार न पाया
ओ बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया
तेरा पार न पाया भानु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे भानु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे
बोलो धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती मोहन भोग लगाया मोहन भोग लगाया सबको बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया ओ बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न
पाया
ओ बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जगदम्बा अम्बा अम्बा जगदम्बा बोलो धनु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे
भानु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे
ओ धनु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे
धनु भगत मैया तेरे गुण गावे
मनवांछित
फल पाया मनवांछित फल पाया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
ओ बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया ओ बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी
पर्वतवासी तेरा पार न पाया तेरा पार न पाया
ओ बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा
अम्बा
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा ओ बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा बोलो अम्बा भवानी माँ जगदम्बा भवानी माँ बोलो
अम्बा भवानी
काली माता जय काली माता जय कपालिनी माँ जय काली माता जय काली माता जय कपालिनी माँ बोलो अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी माँ।
अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी माँ।
बोलो अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी माँ। जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय शिवानी माँ।
जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय शिवानी माँ।
जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय शिवानी माँ।
जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय लक्ष्मी माता, जय शिवानी माँ।
बोलो अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी माँ।
अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी माँ।
बोलो अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी
अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी माँ।
बोलो अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी
अम्बा भवानी माँ, जगदम्बा भवानी माँ।
ओ बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा,
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा।
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा।
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा।
जय देवी माता रे, जय देवी माता रे।
जय देवी महारानी रे, जय देवी महारानी।
आदिशक्ति की जननी जन की रन चंडी माता रे। चंडी माता रे, जय देवी माता रे, जय देवी माता रे।
जय देवी महारानी रे, जय देवी महारानी।
जय देवी माता रे, जय देवी माता रे।
जय देवी महारानी रे, जय देवी महारानी।
बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा,
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा।
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा,
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा।
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। माँ शेरावाली माँ, जोतावाली माँ, कहरवाली माँ, माँ अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा, बोलो अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। जय जगदम्बा। Right where we stand, my dear friend. Those of you who are making offerings, you can continue. The rest of us, we surrender for a few moments onto the feet of the divine goddess. Jagadambike, Jai Jai Jagajanani Ma, Jai 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 मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन यत् पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे आपत्सुमग्नं स्मरणं त्वदीयं करोमि दुर्गे करुणारवेशं नैतच्च तत्त्वं मम भावयेता क्षुधातृषाता जननीं स्मरन्ति ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा एव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि गणपति गणेश भगवान की, आदिशक्ति नव दुर्गा माता की, उमापति महादेव की, and together my dear friends, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, साधु के दंडवत सकल पंच की जय जय सीताराम. May all kindly take seats. Thank you so much for being here. And to these two wonderful souls, these two young ladies that celebrate their birthday. Bad bad din ye aaye, bad bad